Welcome to Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-date news on the political scene of Donald Trump, his presidency, American politics and conspiracies. Please subscribe to receive notice of our daily updates. Also share with your friends and your social media. We encourage you to like our videos and give your comments.
This is TBNN.
It's a setup. Mueller seeks interview with President Trump. President Trump's legal team is preparing to deal with dirty cop Mueller's request for an interview as his unconstitutional Russia witch hunt continues. President Trump's legal team is seeking to avoid a sit-down interview with Robert Mueller and may request a written affidavit instead, declaring he did not collude with the Russians during the 2016 election. NBC News reported. Lawyers for Trump have been discussing with FBI investigators a possible interview by the special counsel with the president as part of the inquiry into whether Trump's campaign colluded with Russia during the 2016 election. The discussions were described by one person with direct knowledge as preliminary and ongoing. Trump's legal team is seeking clarification on whether the president would be interviewed directly by Mueller, as well as the legal standard for when a president can be interviewed, the location of a possible interview, the topics and the duration. But the president's team is also seeking potential compromises that could avoid an interview altogether, two of those interviewed told NBC News. With the possibility now looming that the president himself could be subject to an interview by the FBI or Mueller's investigators, Trump's legal team has been debating whether it would be possible to simply avoid it. One individual familiar with the strategy said those internal discussions within Trump's legal team began shortly after the president's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, was indicted in late October for money laundering in connection with his business dealings with Ukraine. According to the report, DOJ veterans doubt Robert Mueller will accept a written response or an affidavit in lieu of a sit-down interview with the president. Chuck Rosenberg, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia and Chief of Staff to FBI Director Comey told NBC. Prosecutors want to see and hear folks in person. They want to probe and follow up. Body language and tone are important. And they want answers directly from witnesses, not from their lawyers. The odds of prosecutors agreeing to written responses are somewhere between infinitesimally small and zero. This is all a setup to catch President Trump in any sort of inconsistency in his statements. Russian collusion is not a crime, which is why Mueller's other charges against General Flynn and Papadopoulos were for making false statements to the FBI. In contrast, the FBI didn't even interview Hillary Clinton under oath after she was caught mishandling classified information. Judicial Watch reported that according to Hillary's memoir What Happened, one of her lawyers was pregnant at the time of her interview with the FBI, so a large portion of the interview was taken up by discussing babies and pregnancy. Paging AG Sessions.
This has been the Trump Breaking News Network. Please subscribe and share to stay up to date on the latest news about our president. Be informed.